Beautiful morning to you out there. Today it's Friday, the 14th day in the month of June. I'm excited because yes, I get to have the weekend, to do a bit of relaxing. How are you? Thank you for being our guest from Monday up till this moment. We really appreciate everything. We really appreciate your feedback, your comments, your love. Oh God, it's always heartwarming when we receive feedbacks from you. If you are just joining us, you are watching Family and Values on Galaxy Television, reaching out for the stars. Yes, of course, we reach out for the stars. We're streaming across all our social media platforms. Please download the Galaxy mobile app so that you can always watch us on the go, like I will always beg. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, yes, and our Facebook and X. Turn on your notification so that when you know when Family and Values is on your screen. So Family and Values is a show that talks about everything related to family. We discuss health. Yesterday was Health Thursday, and we actually learned a lot from the topic of yesterday. So we take you through the family affairs from Monday all the way to Friday. And of course, it's important because, like they say, a healthy society is the beginning of a healthy family. A healthy family is the beginning of a healthy society. So when you have a very strong family values, you project it into the society and it yields results at last. So that's what we are trying to incorporate. We are trying to bring back those values that are forgotten. Those things that you think, do I really need to care? Yes, you really, really need to care. So thank you for being a part of Family and Values this morning. My name still remains Joy Abu, and please do not forget there is a cholera outbreak out there. Be careful, stay healthy, clean your hands, make sure you eat right, and be careful when you buy food from your food vendors. Watch out for the environment. The rainy seasons are here. The weather is a bit cold this morning, so take care of yourself generally. And I would have said the midterm break is over for parents observing midterm break. Yes, of course, but then the holiday is just by the corner. So resumption starts next week, Wednesday, for so many schools out there. But a lot of schools will start their midterm break by next week. So if you're that parent that your children are done with midterm break, start getting yourself, put yourself back into the back to school atmosphere. There's that thing where they are resuming, that thing, all those things you need to put in place, the arrangement you really need to do. My name still remains at Joy Abu. Like I used to say, when you see these pretty faces on your screen, know it's time for Family and Values. And of course, I have the Mama Jenzi, beautiful Olori in the building. Good morning.
A beautiful morning.
Yeah, a very beautiful morning to you, even though you're looking very prepared this morning.
I beg you, don't bring that one. The brightest days come from the darkest of space. The brightest days come from the brightest of space. So, we go to bed, wake up, we don't know what must have happened while we're fast asleep. For those who sleep, and for those who could not sleep, but you're still in one place, so you don't really know what is happening elsewhere. So for that, brightest day that you're experiencing, there were some dark spaces in between. So it's just by grace that we say, thank God, it's Friday. My name is Olori Adejoke Adobe David, and it's an honor to be here once again. Yes, please. It's time for us to start preparing ourselves. I wanted to get some pepper yesterday.
Did I hear you mention pepper?
And I told my younger sister to help me. So by the time she sent the son, my nephew, to bring it, I said, what's this? She said, I said, this is how much? She said, 800. That's just the rodo and all that. They said, what's this going to do for me? I just wanted to try the practical of using the cucumber stuff and everything and see how it goes. Don't worry, I'll manage till after the the celebration. I said, thank God, my beloved father is no more, so I don't have to buy ram and I don't need to cook anything. So if you love yourself, which I know we have generous Muslims, so Barika Juma to all our Muslim brothers and sisters out there, my family, I love you. You are my blood. I love all of you. But one thing is this, let us be economical with whatever we're doing. I was telling somebody, sometimes we don't need to spend excessively.
You know,
and some of these things we go through from COVID has taught us you don't need to do excesses. And it will help you to do other things rather than, yeah, you can kill the ram and always make, you know, your giving in fresh
meat.
You understand? You're still doing the same thing. Or you can decide to just fry it and still give. And you can decide to make the rest a source of, you know, garnish with pepper and all that, and still use to entertain your guests. But it will reduce. You understand?
Hey, welcome back. We had to go on that break so that we'll give you the best when it comes to today's production. We are going to be discussing youth and politics. One controversial topic, one topic that a lot of people don't like talking about. But well, today we are going to be having that conversation. And we will be having the conversation via Zoom from our guest all the way from Cross River State. This is like taking me back home. This is like saying, homecoming, come back here. Okay, we have Honorable King Ephraim Edet. You know, this name just takes me like back to my roots.
I don't know whether you remember. Wait, don't start blushing. I don't know whether you remember that song, Back to the Basics. Better to back to the basics. You are too old. You are too young.
Yeah, back to the
basics.
Anyway, so we are going to be having Honorable King Ephraim Edet. He's going to be joining us via Zoom all the way from Cross River State. He was the former SA to the former governor on community matters. You can imagine the lot of work he was doing over there. He is currently the secretary to the Youth National Council of Calabar South Chapter and a pioneer member of Cross River State Health Account Team. Good morning, Honorable.
When you have the youth at the ends of our affairs.
Yeah, you know,
good morning.
I think he's in his
It's a beautiful morning.
A very beautiful
morning to you. How is Calabar this morning? How is your environment this morning? How is your area this morning?
Calabar is beautiful as ever. It's green and clean as always.
That's lovely. I can see that even from your look.
He's looking all fresh.
You look so fresh, cool, calm, and collected. Looking so handsome.
Thank you.
Your wife is doing a great job. Tell her thank you for us. If she's watching, thank you, madam. We love
to hear this.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, Honorable, thank you very much for answering our call, even though I reached out to you pretty late, and I was like, Honorable, no, you have to do this because you're a youth, a very dynamic youth. I know you have passion to see the youth succeed. But then we are discussing youth and politics today. You've been in that political terrain for a very long time. You've served as an SA to a former governor, and you're still serving currently in Calabar South. You know, being in that area and serving, growing up from that part of Cross River, I understand that it's not always funny dealing with the youth there. You know, so how you've navigated the political terrain in Cross River State is something we'll still will share with us in the course of the show. But then I want to ask my very first question. There is this notion out there that says politics is a very dangerous game. They said, it's for the brave, politics is a dirty game. No. You need to put your mind at the back. You need to take away the God factor if you want to go into politics. How true is that notion, being the fact that you are already in that terrain and have worked? How true is that notion out there that people have when it comes to politics?
Thank you very much, Joy. I think this very notion is a very big lie. It's, what do I call it? It's fallacious. It's a lie that the previous generation had used in keeping us, the young people, in the dark. And it's what has kept us at advantaged stage that we are today. if politics is a dirty game, then I think no one would play it, no one would be involved in it at all, because no one wants to be stained. So I think it's just a school of thought from a few persons who just want to keep the young people in captivity of negativity.
Okay, thank you for that.
Okay, so Honorable, it's so good to see you, like I said earlier on. And when we talk about politics and youth, we have had several examples, experience in our Nigeria political situation. I want to ask, being in that shoes, how was it? You know, sometimes you have certain authority and power to do certain things. And you have to have a clear head for you to be able to, you know, walk on that path without trembling, your voice shaking, your hands trembling. And with all that you have around you, that surrounds you, and the person you're working with, even before you became an honorable, how easy was it? Because you have your old schoolmates, your growing up here, you know, around you will always come back for favors, need you to do one or two things. How do you manage all this together? Because it's not, who are the people you seek for advice, for wisdom, for counsel? Yes, you have God, your parents, if they are still very much alive. Then who are the people you look forward to as mentors? So you have two questions in one.
Yeah, thank you very much. You see, getting into politics as a young man and having such exalted, privileged position doesn't usually come easy. And as such, you have a lot to deal with. Getting into the office as well with where you getting into an institution where you get to work with civil servants, for example, people who have been around in the system before you were born, you know, people who understand the ropes, who has a laid down rule and ways of doing things. Is initial parts usually get troubling, but once you are well schooled, once you understand what you're doing, once you stick to the rules of engagement and your job description, it becomes easy. Now, mentorship is a very important part of the whole show. Who mentors you, who you listen to, the kind of books you read, also opens your horizon of understanding and your knowledge to a lot of things. And fortunately, I have been very privileged to work and learn from the very best in Cross River State and beyond, the likes of Dr. Bong Duke, who is currently the Vice Chairman of the State Planning Commission, Cross River State. This is one man who has really mentored a lot of youths into leadership position, and of course, this had played out in the output of what we give out there when saddled with different responsibilities. We also have another dynamic lady, Dr. Nyanga Sibong, who is the special advisor to the governor on gender mainstreaming. These people have helped shape my life and packaged me for the public duty, the public job, which, of course, the result has been overwhelming. So as such, having this kind of people behind you, there's no room for trembling, there's no room for fright or intimidation. What you get is results, results, results. So far I've been very, very result-oriented. Then being able to reach out and respond to friends and allies and people around who try to get one or two things done. We try to do this if it is in accordance to the purview of our job and the scope and the description. Why not? We are there for a purpose. You're not there to be a king. You are there as a servant. So whenever the opportunity to serve comes up, who are you not to respond?
Thank you. Thank you so much for that
thank you very much for that question. Now, why do we have youth scared of going into politics? Now, you talked about mentorship, you talked about people who have shaped you into the political terrain. But when you talk to an average youth out there, they see it like politics, no, it's something I can't go in. Like they feel like it's not yet time for the youth to take over. Now, with your own experience and what you've been through, do you think that the youth of this generation are ready to go into politics the way it ought to be and take up major roles in the political sense?
Well, the political enlightenment, the political awareness that has flooded through our country, Nigeria, in the past couple of years has been so overwhelming. If you look at the statistics and the data available, we've recorded one of the highest numbers of voting strength across our polling units. This is, of course, because a lot of people who took the backbench on politics and stuff have gotten interested, have gotten to be conscious of who leads them, who guides them. You know, the economy is biting. Everyone feels it. The rich does, the poor does. So everyone is very interested in this now. So as it is, the young persons now have gotten so interested in politics. It's gone beyond the time of thuggery, where young people were being used as tools to cause mayhem during elections, to snatch the ballot boxes and kidnapping and all that. Down here, we had youths who said, if you want us to do anything dirty for you, your children have to take the front row. And you know that nobody would want to do this. So in as much as your sons, your kids are schooling abroad, you do not have any audacity to come asking us to do this part, which of course is going to lead to destruction and without. So youth right now are well informed, and our future is brighter because of the awareness, like I said, the mentorship, the training we have received so far. And looking at the world, there is so much to gain out of life. Emmanuel Macron became a president of France, I think at the age of 37. This speaks volumes. These are the things that have shaped the world around us, and it's been a very positive motivation to young people as well. So definitely, young people now have gotten politically conscious. Young people have gotten to take their space, their place in the circle of life, and they are doing pretty well.
Wow, they are doing pretty well. I don't want to, but I'll have to, because it will make it look like I'm trying to run away from certain information or experiences of life that as much as we have the youth who are ready to serve, I want to ask, for those who have been in one political office or the other at a younger age, in a youthful, time to serve at one point in time, this nation, we've had flaws from youths. Now, my question will now go to, can we say the flaws we had when you see corruption, embezzlement of funds, being a speaker in a house or being a leader, you understand, as a youth? Can we say this trend of corruption, this trend of embezzlement of funds or being a bad image of the youth, can we say is an individual decision, or the upbringing, or the upbringing? Can we say it's the upbringing from the parents,
yes,
or it's an
yes,
individual? decision?
I think the two factors you've mentioned plays a very critical role. First of all, your upbringing, your family, where you come from, has a role. If you have a family name to protect, I know and I believe you would not want to shame them out there. You would want to be a role model, you would want to be a pride of your family.
Sure.
So where you come from matters, your family matters, your background matters, the kind of ethics, discipline instilled in you while growing up matters too. So a situation where a little child is caught stealing and is disciplined by a neighbor, for example, and you find the parents come back and rain brimstone and fire, that you dare not touch my child. I know what I passed through to birth him or her. I know how many years I had waited to conceive. So, as such, continuous shielding of this child would make the child grow up with a notion that, okay, I think I have my parents behind me. Now, if this child is fortunate enough not to meet jungle justice on the course of growing up, and he succeeds to grow into the political scene where he or she has access to good money, has access to funds, has access to disburse or withdraw cash, believe you me, those tendencies he or she exhibited while growing up is going to come in a 1,000-fold. For example, you get to watch the news how 100 billion is recovered from just one person. 100 billion. Even if you spend 5 million naira daily for yourself, I mean daily, I think for your lifetime, all through your lifetime, you would never spend 100 billion. So as such, it makes these people get into this, they give EFCC a lot of work to do, if I would add. They do this and impoverish the people. They just leave the stage worse than how they met it. So this thing too is an individual or personal thing. You can be from a bad background, you could be from a place you didn't receive these necessary life trainings to aid you through life. But you decide that as I am getting into that place, I am going to be just and true. I'll be transparent. I won't touch 1 naira of government money, no matter how pressed I am. Fine, you will not be celebrated. The world might not celebrate you or notice what you've done, but definitely you will not be dragged on national TV for stealing or embezzling funds. Definitely your kids won't grow up to read the papers seeing dad in handcuffs for stealing or misappropriating funds. So this whole thing, the family background has a role, and the person himself has a role to play. But the choice at the end of the day lays with you to decide which path you would want to follow.
Wow, Honorable,
thank you
very
so
much for this conversation. Please, let's go on a quick break. We'll return with our conversation. Honorable still has a lot to tell us about the youth and politics. Be right back. Welcome back. We've been watching Family and Values on Galactic Television here in Lagos State, Nigeria. And we have been discussing youth and politics. And we have our Zoom guest on standby all the way from Cross River State, Honorable Ikem Efiom Edet. Please, are you still there? Honorable?
Honorable Edet, are you still there?
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm here. Right here.
I'm sure you watched the vox pop that was played, the viewers' opinion on today's topic, and you could hear a lot of people saying youths are not ready. But there was one that actually caught my attention. The NYSC guy, you're already smiling, that said he wants to go into politics, but he wants to start as an errand person. And he did mention a lot, you know. He said, okay, fine. You know, for him, politics is like, I want to go there, grab the money, grab the share. You know,
that's the mindset.
That's his mindset. And coming from an NYSC student, so NYSC corper, who just finished, having that kind of mindset, for me, it speaks volumes to the kind of youth that want to go into party. It feels like the youth just want to go there, grab their
You
own
know,
share,
they have
their own
prepared the
money.
ground for them to
After
just
that's
do
what
that.
we are saying, you
Yeah.
know, and then come out. Now, let's talk about the godfatherism factor, because he said he wants to be an errand boy, and I was asking my colleague, errand boy as how? Which of the errands do you want to run for these people? Because, you know, so now let's talk about the godfatherism factor. Do you think it has played a major role in such a way that the youth don't have access to political posts and positions?
The word Godfather depends on the context which it's being used. You know, I talked about mentorship. You could decide to call your mentor someone who's putting you through in politics a godfather, or someone who you get directions from, a godfather. So the errand also depends on what the young man means. You know, before you can lead, you have to follow. You have to learn how to follow before you can lead. So as such, no one wakes up from nowhere to become a personal assistant, a special advisor, or a commissioner or anything. You are definitely going to start somewhere. You are definitely going to help around in a positive way, not running errands of snatching election votes, or being an executioner, or doing all sort of dirty things. I mean, come on, those things are now out of fashion, out of style. It's not happening again. With the introduction of, what do we call it, the card reader and all those stuff, we've been able to outlive those archaic way of errand in politics. So if your errand has to do in serving, running around, your boss definitely has a speech to make, and you can contribute to that speech to be typed, produced in a digital way, rebrand your boss, outward packaging to the world. Like, while coming to the media, you would have a way of packaging your boss, or know how to defend his policies in a very constructive way. I think that is service. That is what shoots you out there. That is what broadens your horizon and scope and make you stand. So when we have youths who feel coming into politics, I think I would be able to do some dirty stuff, run around, assassinate, or do the current one, which is character assassination on social media or stuff. So you're very good at that, and you could run around that kind of errand for your boss or leaders. I think such youth would not go very far politically. It's only going to be for a moment. So the right thing, I always encourage young people to, there are always two ways, the narrow or the wide way. So coming into politics because you feel is the surest way to make money, or the surest way to embezzle money, is definitely a wrong reason of joining. If you have that way, that as your shortest way of making money, I think you should do business. That's where people see money daily. But coming into politics has to do with service. Most times the job entails you hitting the road, going into the streets and walking, seeing things for yourself, not staying inside the AC office fitted stuff. For example, the likes of the senator representing Cross River South, Senator Sukwo Ekpenyong, you would see him across the media everywhere. He's always in the streets, monitoring the programs, monitoring the projects, and seeing firsthand, interacting with the people and knowing the things where he can come in and how he can help and assist. So politics is service. It's not what I heard.
It's not what I heard. Now, my question will now be, can we say our youths are not ready? Yes, just like we started with the quote Joy gave. You understand? Can we say they are not really ready to serve? Because, see, we have defined youth. We have looked into what the youth have to offer. They are the ones that want good electricity, good security, good this, good that. They want everything to be properly done, but yet they themselves are not ready to go by the discipline that is involved to make all these things happen. They are not. They're like a child you're trying to tell, sit down there, don't dirty your uniform. And if the boy suddenly saw a ball, just roll past. Hey, this ball must not go without me touching it. My foot must touch this ball. Can we say what the youths are ready for is not what they are actually seeing in the political setting? Because politics, like you said, is not a child's play. And as much as many of them are still children, you understand, many of them still be, many, not all, you understand, my quote and unquote, many, are still working in the fact that, just like the copper said, you know, they are so myopic with their thinking, their thoughts, and they're so brainwashed that they feel, you know, I'm using Lagos slang for you now. I'm sure you know that when you were in school. So, you know, they see it as something that is not as difficult as if people are doing it. Get to the office, do blah, 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 get my computer, laptop, go digital. And yes, you can do that. We can bring that in. But can we say the youths are not fully ready? Huh? Or they are lazy?
To an extent. To an extent, I would say most youths are not ready for the leadership challenges. They are not ready to an extent. And all these things too has its peculiarities depending on the region. You know, Nigeria is a very a large ethnic and socio-cultural society with so many peculiarities.
True.
So they are part of this country where young people are motivated. Like, let me say, the Yoruba land, they have a very strong instinct for education. I think there's hardly a family without a professor or a PhD holder, you know, which means they really invest so much in education. And there are parts of this country too that believe in giving young people a chance to grow, to excel. And there are parts of this country that the old men, the old people who can't even get into their jeeps unaided would rather die in office than give an opportunity to a young person to change the narrative. So now, who are the people with the laptops? It's the young persons. Who are the people, how many of the older generation can set up a Zoom and Skype meeting on themselves without being aided? It's the young person who do that. I watched an HBO movie some time back, I think Game of Thrones, and I saw very huge giants marching forward to battle. And I asked myself, why can't this giant be the king? Yet the king is a tiny little frail person, but the giant is marching towards the king. Now, this is the position where the young people are. The young people are these giants. If you are this giant, the rest are beneath your waistline. Why can't you lead? Why can't you lead? So this is the question we get to ask ourselves. So we need every form of motivation and orientation and reorientation of our young persons. This should also be part of the things young people go through during the orientation courses during the NYSC. Because coming out to an economy where there's no too much jobs, white collar jobs, and the next thought in your head is to join politics, to hit large. I think it's a very wrong notion which shows you are not ready. So rather, the youths who engage themselves in, let me say, reading, having a library. Behind in my office, the other room we have a lot of books to read. Books written by Barack Obama and so many very good authors. These things shapes your mind. This thing makes you see leadership and politics beyond the fanfare, beyond the celebration, beyond the jingles which we see online. So I would say most youths are not ready. They still want to be used as a tool to destabilizing the country, while other youths are ready, very ready. You don't want to know the qualifications of some youths in this country. You would marvel. But the opportunity is not there. So power, as they say, it's never given. You have to grab it. You have to take it. So as a young person, if you know you have what it takes, of course, you know you have what it takes to change the narratives of your place. You could start from being a counselor, running for councillorship, motivate the young people, let them see your manifesto, what you have to offer. And when you are given the opportunity, you serve right. I tell you, from that level of councillorship, someone somewhere could get you a form to run for a House of Assembly or chairmanship. So these are the little steps which young persons need to follow. That's why I would always say mentorship. You also need to have a good mentor, not someone who uses you for errands, and at the end of the day, you are just doing it to survive. You are doing it to feed. And when they get to the boardroom where the decisions are taken, your name is never mentioned. You are not remembered. No. So it goes beyond just mentorship. You need a good mentor. And you need to choose your mentors rightly. You don't have to choose a mentor who you know is indicted everywhere. Tomorrow they are looking for them in one anti-graft agency. And you are choosing the person to mentor you. Definitely, if the person took 10 billion, you would take 40, because you would use your age advantage and the wisdom you have as a young person, which your boss didn't have, and you will hit more. And this would constantly, this would constantly keep the youth, keep you at the position you're trying to get away from.
Wow, Honorable, thank you very, very much.
You've done
for
the justice
this morning. You've done justice to today's topic. We really appreciate it. But before I let you go, I just wanted to give just 60 seconds advice to the youth out there. While we let you go on the show to round up. Thank you.
Okay. My dearest Nigeria youth, do I take it as greatest Nigerian youth, greatest Nigerian
Great.
I want to vibrate. I want to ginger. I want to
I love this.
I want to motivate.
Interesting.
My people, we are the ones to turn this country around. The people who are in power today, they started quite early and they had laid a foundation for themselves and the country. And so far, this is where they have been able to lead us to with what we have seen. With the experiences we gathered on the course of our existence on planet Earth, I believe the onus is on us to change this to change this for the sake of our generations unborn. Just as we have read about Awolowo, we've read about Nnamdi Azikiwe, we've read about other freedom fighters, Margaret Ekpo, and the rest. We have the opportunity to change this narrative to make Nigeria the place where people would travel to. We have the opportunity to change the value of our currency. We have the opportunity to make our home a tourist heaven for medical tourism and everything. We have young people who are schooling outside and have gotten this knowledge and wisdom. It's time for them to come back home and inject this fresh energy back to our system. It's time to have people who has the fear of God and Allah rule this country. We've had people who were ministers at the age of 27. We've had governors who were governors at 35. We've had them. We've had people who have rewritten history of this country. We've had the likes of Donald Duke. We've had the likes of Leah Limoke. We've had so many good people. Benedict Sayade. We've had so many of them.
Thank you,
They
Honorable. We
started out
really
as young
appreciate.
people.
We
They were not
appreciate you
crazy.
so much for this.
Thank
Our
you,
time is
Honorable.
fast
Our
spent,
time is
and
fast spent.
we have to run this for other
Thank
shows.
you, thank you.
Thank you.
very
Have a
much.
splendid weekend. My name is Remain Olori Adejoke Adubi. David, a big shout out to everyone we'll be celebrating over the weekend. We love you, we appreciate you, and wish you the very best. Bye for now.
Okay, thank you very much for being a part of Family of Value throughout this week, to our crew, to our editor, to Luke, to the MCRO, to everybody that have made this week production a success. We are saying thank you very much. Okay, we'll see you next week, as Lori will be taking the lead on next week production. Still be our guest throughout next week. Thank you very, very much. Have a splendid weekend ahead. Thank you. God bless you.